That's a ride. Oh, 5,900 watts. Jeez. Wow. That power kick in. What's going on, everybody? This is the Wired Predator bike, a dual motor electric bike with insane power. This thing peaks at like 6,000 watts. And with me on it at 180 pounds, it'll go about 44 miles per hour. So crazy power in this e-bike. But I wanted to know, how long does that power and speed actually last? So I decided to do a bit of a range test on this. You got dual batteries, right? 60 volt, 20 amp hour in the frame, 60 volt, 15 in the rear rack. So that's a pretty good battery capacity. How long does it actually last? How long can you use that crazy power? So I was out riding the other day, decided to do kind of a high speed riding, a little bit more aggressive off-roading range test to see if I could, shake and rattle or break anything loose. And here's how it went. Saw this wide open field of grass. It was just too tempting. Hightail it. Ooh, big dip right there. Whoa, buddy. Oh, shit. Better be careful there here. No idea what's coming. Oh, I'm swimming all over this rut. Oh, gosh. The field was too tempting. I had to whip through there. There we go. Some solid ground to feel. Oh, yeah. Much better. Not even at full power. I'm only in pedal assist 4. I've got it set up right now where I'm riding it around in dual motor mode, and then I've got the throttle follow on. So my throttle is based off the pedal assist number, and I set them at 20, 40, 60, 80. Or no, yeah, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. So pedal assist 1's 20% power, which gives me about 1,000 watts, and then 2 takes it up to 2,200. 3 gives it to 3,300. 4 is over 4,600, 4,700, and 5 is everything. Which right now it's at, up to speed. Once you get to speed, it kind of falls off a little bit. Let's give it a hit from a stop. All right, 5. 55.98 was the highest I saw. So 5,500 watts on this thing right now. I've already put on about 15 miles on this battery charge. And that's kind of one of the things I wanted to look at today with, what kind of range am I getting on this thing realistically? And also, when does the power fall off? I mean, I've only lost like 500 watts of power. With a full charge, it'll hit over 6,000. And now I'm hitting about 5,600. Ease into it so we don't spin the front wheel. There we go. And then punch up the power when I need it. There we go. I hit 5,800 there. 43 mile an hour, no problem. Let's go over here. I want to do this really long hill climb over here. See how it does. All right, well, there is the Predator bike if you don't know what I'm riding. So we got a 1,000 watt geared hub motor in the front on a 40 amp controller. In the back is a 1,500 watt motor on a 50 amp controller. And then the peak output's like 6,000 watts. This thing's crazy. Dual batteries, 20 amp hour in the front and 15 on the rear rack. But I want to do this long hill climb here. 35 mile an hour road. Let's start at the base where the start's going uphill. Like right about here, it starts pitching uphill. Let's see how fast we can get out of here. Actually, let's start in 2 and we'll launch and then we'll keep punching up. 3, so 60% power, 80%, 100% power. Pulling straight up the hill. 35. There's the speed limit right there. Still pulling. Up to 40 straight uphill. We're pulling about 4,700 watts. Nice. This thing is strong, man. You want strong power for traffic, this thing's where it's at. Gosh. We're gonna spin around because I want to go put some miles on the country roads out here and try to burn through some battery pack. Lay down some high-speed miles, gobbling up power. See how long this thing lasts. I don't even know where to guess it. All right, now that was a pretty long run right there. Mostly uphill. I mean, all-wheel drive. It's not really getting hot at all. The rear motor's at 158 degrees. So having the power split between the motors, they don't get super hot. All right, let's switch this thing into rear wheel only. We'll bump up the power. So we got full power on the rear wheel. And I'm at 161 degrees. Let's run through here a little bit, see if it heats up any. We'll go a little faster this time. Last time I was over here, I was trying to be more of a, like a rock crawler, slow speed mode, but so I figured that's how people, if you're gonna be off-road with it a lot, maybe you're trying to just climb through some really gnarly, tough stuff. But I guess there's some people to be out there like this where it's a little bit more wide open. Here's a go. Hill rear wheel drive. This should heat it up some. We're already up in the 180s. There you go. Now we're at 200. It's climbing a little bit more. There's no cars coming. This thing flies. And that's the end of my road. All right, so that little bit took us up to 204 degrees. 204. Let's head back through. We got to get some miles down on this thing to see what the range is like when you're just using a lot of power. Oh gosh, it's so bumpy right here. Oh, yeah. Oh gosh. Well, all right. Back into the open road. Woo. Okay. All right. I like this better. Just being able to let it fly on the pavement. Still go back over to all-wheel drive. I'm at 60.9 volts, basically 61 volts. What is that? I think that's, I don't know, maybe 50-60% battery. Boy, that just kicks in so hard. Look at it kick in. Whew. We gotta flip around and go up this hill. Very easy, and then hit it. 5,400 watts. 5480, 56. So we're still well up into the 5,000 watt mark. Motor temperature's at 208. So I think the motor cutoff is like 350. That's when it like starts, you know, saying, hey, take it easy. So I'm beating this thing good and it's not even close. Definitely doesn't have as much strength in rear wheel. I'm in rear wheel drive right now. You definitely feel the power of that front motor helps so much. Especially too, if you're going like up a hill and you think, oh, I'm gonna start pedaling to help the bike out. Well, you're actually hurting it because this bike's set up, when you pedal, the pedal system is not connected to the front motor. So when you're going up a tough hill and you start pedaling, you actually lose front motor power. You gotta remember that. You're getting your most power in all-wheel drive, just riding the throttle. Ooh, creep out here. We gotta be careful, we're in 5. All right, now I can hit it. All right, we're coming up to a big, long hill, 45 mile an hour. I'm not gonna be able to keep 45 going up this hill, that's for sure. We've lost some battery, so we may maintain like 30 something. We'll see. We're in all-wheel drive. It's giving me about 5,000 watts-ish, 4,700 to 5,000. Holding 39, that's not bad. It's 35 here, so I'm actually in the flow of traffic. All right, continuing to try to burn through battery here. Let's give it a speed run. It's at 5,400 watts was the most I saw there. I'm at 57.6 volts. And when you hit it hard, it still gives you well over 5,000 watts. So, I mean, it feels like it's lost a little bit because we're going slightly uphill. I'm maintaining 38 miles an hour. It's pulling about 3,200 watts right now. So there's been a slight fall off in power, but still, still peaking, you know, well over 5,000. And on this straight stretch, holding like 3,000. I'm surprised I haven't popped a tire yet on this thing. I'm trying to be harder on it today. But I wanted to give it some stress, take it on some high speed, beat on it off-road a little bit just to see, does anything overheat? Does anything break? Does anything rattle loose? I haven't broken anything yet. It's a little bit muddy through here. I'm gonna switch to rear wheel. Feel the front wanting to get out from under me. I'm not even close to getting this thing hot, which is crazy because I've been full power on this thing for a while. And we'll go this way, I guess. I can hear the rear battery shaking a little bit in the rack. I may need to put something like in there. Oh, holy cow. That was so muddy. I didn't even see that coming. Oh my God, I am covered in mud. Wow. This bike went completely sideways through there. That's a swamp. Oh, whoops. Oh man, I'm all muddy. Ah, well. Oh, and I slipped the chain off. Let's take a 2-second break here. Hang on. We almost lost it in that mud hole. All right, well, we're torture testing the control here because that's kind of soaked in mud. But yeah, I mean, nothing's really loose on this thing. I took the front fender off because I was worried about that thing. It just was not stable in there. So I took the front fender off. But yeah, I guess that's the drawback of not having the double-sided chain guard. The chain slipped off on there. Yeah, I really do need a fender. I need some sort of fender because I'm getting splashed all the way up to here on this thing. But I mean, it's taking everything I'm throwing at it. That's a good sign. Let's put the chain back on. Actually, all right, so before I do this, okay, turn the pedal assist off. I'm just gonna turn the whole bike off because I don't want it taking off on me as I rotate the pedals. All right, let's put this on there. That. Give it a spin. All right, we're good to go. Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that with the bike on and have the thing take off, especially not this bike. Ooh, gosh, man, they go like crazy on you. Let's get back on here. All right, get in. I'm going to do all wheel. Take it on 2. Out of here. All right, where next? All right, let's try a 0 to 30 launch. I'm going to start it in pedal assist 3, 60% power, and then as I get accelerating, I'm going to start bumping it up, see if that helps it any. Less wheel spin in theory. You ready? All right, my finger on the button. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, now I can punch it up. I don't think I was any faster. Still giving me 5,300 watts, even at 57 volts. That's probably about like half battery. The indicator's even showing half. There we go, got the mud off. Let's do a level 5 launch though. See how much wheel spin it still has. 3, 2, 1, go. Jeez, oh man, still a lot. There's a lot of power left in this thing. Gosh, it's still more powerful than any other bike. But it definitely lost some speed. I mean, I'm at 38, 39. Normally it was going like 44 at the beginning. But if you take it easy on this thing, you could probably go 70 miles pretty easy on it, I would guess. But who's going to buy it to go easy on it? You're going to do this. This is what you're going to do. Constant, full speed riding. Right? In accelerations. All right, we did it. We drained the batteries in the Predator. I also drained the batteries in my camera. I'm almost out of juice and everything. I got to head for home because I am flashing red on the battery. 52.5 volts flashing red at me, meaning you better get home because we're almost out. And it's no longer the Predator. Here's a full level pull here. About 1,800 watts. I'm going to conserve so I can get home with some power. But 40 miles. 40 miles is what it took to kill both battery packs on this Predator bike. Well, there's your answer. Riding this bike like a crazy person, I got 40 miles out of a single charge. And I would say I had really good power, actually. Really good power for the first about 30 miles. Once I hit that 30 mile mark, I started noticing, okay, it's not going quite as high on the top speed. When you hit the throttle full blast, it's not quite the same acceleration. And then from there, it only took 10 miles to burn it down to 0. From the point of me noticing that the power's not quite there anymore to down to 0 was only 10 miles. So it was a pretty steep fall off after I started noticing the power loss. And I mean, you just got to think about how you're going to ride this bike, I guess, if you're considering Predator. Me, I only ride 15, 20 miles at a time. So I was happy with that range. That was fine. I mean, you're pulling that much power out of the batteries, 5,000, 6,000 watts constantly for 30 miles. I didn't expect the batteries to last very long at all. So I'm kind of pleased with 40 miles. I thought that was pretty good. It's plenty for me doing 15, 20 mile rides. I mean, really, if you tune this bike down a little bit, you're going to increase that range a lot. I mean, even if you dropped it down to like 60% power, I mean, you're still getting like 3,600 watts. Now you've made it the same power as the Wired Cruiser or the Wired Freedom, 3,600 at 60% power, like you're going to get a ton more mileage out of it doing that. And honestly, this bike it's pretty hard to ride at full power. Trying to ride it with 5,000, 6,000 watts, you got to watch what you're doing. It can get away from you. You got to be careful with that power. This is not for the average person who buys the Predator. The guy who is a power junkie who wants the baddest bike on the block. That's this thing's audience. So not for everyone. Really fun, cool bike though. I mean, if you think this is one you want to get, use my affiliate link because it'll save you $50. Why not, right? But it was 40 miles of fun. But I was a little surprised how steep it fell off after the power started to drop. And we got it a little bit muddy. Nothing broke. Nothing came loose. I don't know. I didn't have any issues with it yet. There's probably about 100-ish something miles on the bike right now. Problem free. The only thing I'm missing, I need to find a front fender solution. I'm kind of anxious to see what they come up with there on their next round of these. Maybe I can retrofit it to this one because I got mud splashed up all through this thing. And the rear fender does not come down near the controller at all. So the controller took a ton of splash, but it is filled with that like thermal gel, so it shouldn't hurt it any. But yeah, there you go. 40 miles of fun out of this bike for the range test. Hope you found this data helpful if you're looking at this bike. That's all I got for you today. See you in the next one.